They say a change is as good as a rest, and as we head into the off season, I think it would be a good idea to talk about this just a little bit. We only have to look at some of the pros Strava accounts to know that even pro cyclists like Walt Van Aert and Tom Pidcock will go out for a run and do something different. And I think for all of us, it would be a good idea to get away from swim, bike, run, particularly over these next couple of months, October, November, going into December, before we embark back on the triathlon treadmill, almost literally. So let's take a look at some of the things that we might do and the benefits of doing them. Before we get into this, I must admit, obviously, I haven't had much of an on-season this year due to all the stuff that was going on last year. However, as we go into winter, particularly in the UK, it becomes difficult sometimes to train outside, and maybe there are some other things we could have a look at. So the first couple of things I thought we'd discuss are looking at two of the things that are related to what we do. But if you spend a lot of your time running on the road, maybe try and think about going and doing some trail running. Now, trail running is great for a number of reasons if it's not something you do very often. It's great for core. It's great for stability with your feet and ankles and knees, and can have a huge impact on your on-season when you come to it. Vice versa, if you do a lot of trail running, it might be worth trying to find somewhere to do some track running instead. All of those things that are slightly antagonistic against what you always do will always help you and make you stronger in areas that the repeated efforts that we keep doing every week on week during the on-season or the run-up to our races will actually have an impact on. So look at the opposite of what you normally do. Same goes for on the bike. If you spend a lot of time on the turbo trainer and riding on the road, then maybe think about getting a second-hand cross bike or a mountain bike and look at getting out on the trails and getting some of those skills up together. It's doubly important over the winter if you spend a lot of time on your turbo trainer, because in my experience, both from personal experience and from riding with people that spend a lot of time on their turbo trainers in the winter, bike handling goes out the window. So doing something like some cyclocross, riding on the mud and on the rocks and over roots and things like that will have a massive impact if you do that once or twice a week. Maybe have a look at some trail running and have a look at some cyclocross riding. Now, I'm not a great big hiker. I don't really like walking. I'd rather ride my bike or run the trails that we tend to go walking on. However, this week I went walking in Wales with a couple of friends of mine and Becky. Had a fantastic time walking over Black Mountain. I've ridden over that mountain. If you watch this channel a lot, you'll know that I've ridden over that mountain a number of times, and it's one of my favourite places in the world. However, I never spent any time actually exploring that area and walking around there. So we decided this weekend, or this last weekend, to go for a walk around there. So obviously doing some hiking, doing some trail walks are a good idea, but you could also do some other stuff that's completely off grid and completely out of the other side of what we would normally do with our triathlon training, and look at something like maybe booking on a rock climbing course. If there's an indoor wall near you, would be amazing for building some of that core strength again, and also your legs in different areas that you wouldn't normally do on the bike or run. But also something like squash or badminton. Beauty of squash is that you can book a court out and go and do it yourself, but 6 to 8 weeks of something like that that's completely different physiologically from what we're used to will have a massive impact. So I'd seriously urge you to try and consider over these next few weeks or so just to do something slightly different. It doesn't mean that your training for swim, bike, run has to stop. Quite the opposite, it can augment that. But maybe take one of the sessions out that you would normally do a week, keep one of your base runs, swims and bikes in, maybe an interval session with each of those, so that you've got the opposite polarized ends of your effort levels. But then maybe one session a week, go and do something different, a bit of badminton, a bit of squash, rock climbing, hiking, something like that. And it will just give your brain a space to go to that's not just triathlon based every single week. You will feel the benefits both mentally and physically. So that's what I was thinking about this week after our little trip away, going for runs around waterfalls and stuff like that. It was fantastic exploring. I'm not going to bore everybody every week with the goal setting, but just to suffice it to say that it's going okay. The goals are going well each week, so I'm entering into week 3 now. I'm in the middle of week 3 when this video comes out. So weeks 1 and 2 and half of week 3 have been pretty good, but I'll do more of a summary when we get to the end of this 6-week block. But that is it for now. Tried a different camera and a different setup today, so we'll see how this goes, which is why it's taking me a bit longer to get the video out. Now that I've got myself in my actual office space, I can actually do something a little bit more formal in terms of setting the video camera up and leaving it up, and setting the lights up and leaving it that way. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. I know it's only a short one. Enjoy doing something different. If you are doing something different this off season, leave a comment below, let us know what you're up to, and I will see you on the next video.